Am I more than you bargained for? Cool. Been 200 years since the bombs all blew.
I mean, you can identify psychopaths. Just keep psychopaths away from power. That should do a lot of it. It's only like 2% of the world that's psychopaths.
Basic psychopath identification. Is it like The Voice where like there's 3 psychologists and it's like
I don't want to gamify. No, we're not doing this for entertainment.
And then as they you said you'd steal candy from a baby, the chair turns and it's like you're
right, and then you're dumped into a pool of sharks. Sounds great.
Dose of bullshit, a loaded podcast now. Download and play it going down.
Welcome to Fallout Boys, the officially unofficial podcast for Fallout on Amazon Prime. I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron.
And we're back for the season finale, titled The Beginning. Season 1, Episode 8. Love it. Love it. They did the old switcheroo. The first episode's the end, last episode's the beginning. That's a Nolan idea, right?
Oh, yeah.
100%. I will say, I very much appreciated in this episode the Nolan-esque conclusion to the season. And when I say that, what I really mean is the way that all of these threads are lined up such that you are learning things in the moment that in the next moment will reveal themselves to be even more delicious. And that just keeps building on itself for like the last 20 minutes of this episode.
Yeah.
It's really kind of a masterclass in ending a season.
Oh, yeah. And like, you know, we already knew he could do this because I've seen season 1 of Westworld.
Right.
So like they're really good at this, Nolan and his partner, Joy. And the thing that I guess I was relieved on is it felt much more like that season than it did like later seasons of Westworld because, you know, I guess like going into this season, I was like, OK, what the hell is in the head? What the hell's going on with Hank's, you know, with Lucy's father? And honestly, that's real because like the Brotherhood and stuff is all but and also, yeah, like what's Cooper's part in all this? And I felt like we got satisfying answers to all those. We haven't. And honestly, the Vault 31, 32, 33 triad has kind of been busted wide open. Like there is not much mystery left there other than, you know, who are the supervisors been reawakened? Which ones haven't been reawakened? Are we going to meet any of those people? And I guess, you know, can because at this point only Norm knows and Norm's stuck in here. So like, how does that? We know it as the audience, but how does it escape into the wider world? That's pretty impressive. Like, yeah, there's a lot more questions going forward. Like, you know, why did Vault Tech do this? Where is Cooper's family? Why did Hank? You know, my God, you kill your wife and destroy your children's home just because you want to win the game of capitalism? You're trying to beat Monopoly? The fuck, man? So there's some mystery there.
No, we'll talk about his motivations and everything kind of at the end of this, but yeah, they do an interesting job of like trying to have him lay out his case for why he did these actions, and all of it falls flat with me and with Lucy, obviously. Yeah. But you can see why someone could delude themselves. Him, Barb, many people could delude themselves into believing that they're doing the right thing, making the right call.
It's hard to see how they delude themselves. I understand the justifications they tell themselves to be like, well, if we didn't do it, someone else would. But like, God damn, I'm kind of sick of hearing that as the justification for why we should do some awful thing. Because someone else is going to do it if we don't. You know, it's like, OK, damn. Better punch you in your fucking face right now because it's inevitable. Someone's going to do it. Talking that way, might as well, right? It's like it's a crazy way to think.
Yeah,
especially for Barb. The hell's Barb's damage, man?
I know. It's like she became a mother and just lost her damn mind, like out of fear.
But like, I don't know. Why would you want your child? Why? It's like you're engineering an evil world. Like you've been like, how did she go so wrong? And being married to Cooper and being the mother to Janie, does she know something that we don't know? And what could possibly? Because I think one of the best scenes in First Watch on a rewatch is just watching Walton Goggins show a man who's just having his worldview shattered. And like being, you know, because like, even right before Barb opens her mouth, he's like rooting for her. Come on, Barb, you gotta I know this ain't you. You gotta be the sole light of reason in this fucking room of piranhas and sharks and barracuda. And she doesn't. In fact, she's the worst of them. And it's tragic.
And that's the thing.
And it's the same
we
thing.
don't know a ton about her, right? We see where she is now, but we don't know who she was before this. Cooper certainly thought she was someone else. So there's that information.
There's kind of hints that she was his manager. Maybe he's trusted her to make moves in the past or something. I am very curious to see, hints. Because like they're portraying this as if there were no hints at all about the depths of craptitude at which she is morally descended.
Not until she gets to Vault-Tec. Is that the corrupting influence, or was she always like this? I'm very curious to see more about their early relationship.
Yeah, and how does Janie fit in all this? That last we know she was with Cooper as the bombs were fall, but he has lost track of her. So what does that mean? And the other tantalizing aspect is like what's going on in New Vegas. I'm not a Fallout player, but I know that was a cheer was heard throughout the wasteland as Hank crested that hill, stepped over that Deathclaw skull, and beheld New Vegas. The idea that like Hank is just a junior executive, he's middle management. Who is the person really pulling the strings? Is there someone from Vault-Tec left alive? Is Barb going to be sitting like the Emperor in Warhammer 40,000 on this desiccated corpse on this throne that's still ruling over Vault-Tec America?
She almost has to be like the person in charge, because everybody we've seen interfacing with the outside world for Vault-Tec has been her. It's been Bud, who we know is not ruling anything. He's sweeping up in Vault 31. And then Hank, who I can't tell if he's part of like a mastermind after he got unfrozen, or if he's just a guy who was angry enough and desperate enough to do something horrible from his own vault.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong. Barb is a junior executive herself, right? Like they're telling me the story all season long as she's trying to like, so her and Bob are kind of like peers. And I think that Hank is below Barb because, these are part of Bob's junior executive kind of roundup thing. So like, I don't think we've ever met the real power behind Vault-Tec. Although,
who's the CEO of Vault-Tec, right? It's not Bud.
Yeah. But like, also, why would the CEO of Vault-Tec be there to represent Vault-Tec in front of Vault? Do you think that this is like some kind of junior management coup on not just Vault-Tec, but the whole world?
Oh, interesting. Maybe.
Because, why are they meeting with all these executives about the Vault project and there's no one higher than fucking Bob there?
Bud. Yeah.
Oh, Bud. Right. Bud.
Yeah,
Bud.
Bud's Buds.
It's not Bud's Buds. Bob's Buds is good too. Bud's Buds even better.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question, especially like when seen through the lens of the other side of this equation that's happening right now, which is the Brotherhood's splintering. You've got Elder Price. I don't know his actual name. Elder whatever, like planning essentially like what you're saying, some kind of coup to take over the world as a splinter faction of the Brotherhood and create his own faction. So there could be something with that for Hank as well.
And that's like, reminders. I'm just watching this episode and, we've seen the trailer since or before, the whole Brotherhood Civil War is starting to make a lot more sense that the Elder is going to try to fashion a new one out of the untempered steel of Maximus and who knows what else. Because it seems like, you and Maximus are not enough to carry off something. But sure. Is Maximus going to try to escape that, or is he going to try to, like, the only way out is through, like, going to take over the whole thing so that he can get back to Lucy with some strength behind? I don't know. Because, like, he's definitely taking a step up at the end of this episode in the Brotherhood, whether he wants to or not.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was really his suggestion. It's more Dane seeing an opportunity here for him.
Which that's funny, too, like how life works out. He mentions, I was supposed to be out there. She only did that because she's afraid. And And now it's like what part of her guilt is making her, kind of run ahead and anoint him as the successor. But it's like, yeah, it's like it's an interesting little engine,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say they've really strongly realized all these characters. And that is, like, you talk about engines, that's always the engine that drives any good show to me, is the characters. And I feel like they have set up a lot of characters with both competing and interjoining motivations that make this really interesting beyond just the world that they're creating.
Yeah, I agree. And that's, I think, the other thing that I was amazed at the end of the first episode that they because I was so ambivalent about the Brotherhood in general and Maximus in particular. But by the end of the season, I'm like, rooting for him. Mm-hmm. I thought, the transformation that he made in terms of bravery and loyalty, I think the Elder's completely missing it. But I couldn't help but notice that he is just ever pushing forward to front, trying to keep up the leading wave of advance because he wants to find Lucy first. You know, he made a promise to her. And even then there's little fate and kismet because he finally gets there, and all Lucy's been talking about is how he wants to find her father and escape, and he finds her kind of stunned in front of the cage, and he lets Hank out before he knows what's going on. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of butterfly flaps that cause hurricane in this episode, is what I'm trying to say. And I liked it. Like you said, it's Nolan and Joy at their best really pull all this stuff together, and it feels organic.
Mm-hmm. All right. We should probably get into the recap, yeah? We're going through chickens quicker than clean water. Send a few caps our way at support.ballmove.com and get ad-free podcasts in return. You're back for more cousin stuff, aren't you? Welcome back to Fallout Boys.
Yeah, let's do it. This is a tricky episode to recap, especially the last third of it. So we'll just try to make it work. Straightforward at the beginning, though. In the episode entitled "The Beginning," where Maximus returns to the Brotherhood, who have set up a temporary command HQ in the ruins of the town of Philly. The Elder accuses him of repeated perfidy by sabotaging his fellow squire Dane and now switching to target heads, and is about to be put to death. But Dane suddenly speaks up and reveals that they themselves had razor-bladed their own boots. Talking to Maximus privately, the Elder reveals his disgust at what the Brotherhood has become and his vision of remaking the Brotherhood in his image, backed by warriors of principle and virtue like Maximus. But Maximus? He's just got a tape repeating in his head of Lucy and oysters, Lucy and oysters, Lucy and oysters. It's just going in one ear and out the other.
I was wondering, when I saw this, because I'd forgotten most of it, and when the Elder here, I should really look up his name. When the Elder,
the CEO of E Corp.
Yes, Price. When he sort of makes an offer here for him to be his sword as part of this new or the likes of him, which is insulting right off the bat. But I don't know if that's what causes this or not. But I was expecting, okay, he's now got two offers for a new home, right? He can either stay here with the Brotherhood and try and build a home in this new faction that's going to have power through this head, I guess. Or he can take the offer that he's been given by Lucy to go live with her in her vault. And I thought that was going to be much more of a choice. But here in another couple scenes, he's just going to come back having immediately made up his mind to go with Lucy. And I think that is indicative of the change of his character. Because before he was much more just go along with kind of whatever life presented him. This is an actual decision he's making that is going to have a lot of consequences on his life, but he's made that decision and he's going to stick by it.
Yeah, and I never thought it was a serious choice, especially since, again, as they panned out to what the Elder was saying, and they just go to Maximus's inner monologue and his do 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 with Lucy and oysters dancing around. Because he was kind of going along to get along because he didn't know there was another way. Like anyone living on the wasteland, like the Volter stuff is like just horseshit. But he's met Lucy. This is like, meeting someone like Lucy is a transformative event. It'd be like meeting, I don't know, the Dalai Lama or Jesus Christ or some other religious figure that's just like, there's a better way. It doesn't have to be like this.
Sure.
And how like she's kind of rewarded for that faith in others constantly. It's just a little bit of luck of the draw, but the way it works that way. So yeah, he's like, he doesn't want to be the one on top of this shit pile. He wants to be underneath the shit pile in a vault with Lucy.
Right. Yeah. And that choice of like, two paths to the same end, essentially, like having a home. That choice comes into play, I think, later with Hank and his defense of his own choices with regards to Shady Sands, and Vault-Tec in general with their let's say helping along of the war that ends the world and gives them their product. That's like it reveals more about the person making the choice, I guess, than the choices themselves. Because Hank is very defensive about his choice, but I think there's another way, as shown by Moldaver and his wife, Rosie. Right. Like, they both seem to have established a better world, a more peaceful world, according to the flashbacks that I see. I don't know. That's all I've seen of Shady Sands. Is peaceful harmony. So he has an idea in his head that it has to be this one way, but there's always another way. And I think, that's part of what Maximus is going through here too. Yeah.
And the other tension in the real world, as well as the world of Fallout, is what if the ideal human society cannot compete? Like if you set up a society for human flourishing, what if that cannot compete against something like a Vault-Tec? What if that can't compete against something like the Brotherhood of Steel? Because they are optimizing to crush opposition, and you're optimizing to provide free transportation and energy and healthcare and make sure everyone's fed and what if we just never can get there because of fucking war, and war never changes? Because that's the thing. It's like, war is not judged by the human flourishing. Like, you're not competing with the other side to see how well your civilians are treated and what standard of living. You're competing on how much death you can deal and destruction you can inflict to break the other side's will. Like, it's fucked. It's fucked.
Yeah, there's definitely some middle ground that has to be struck. Obviously, I mean, it's
like we have to, because that's
Hank's insane.
That was like, I always thought that was the dark thesis of Star Trek, growing up, that like we can only get to Star Trek through a truly brutal series of world wars that like destroys 75% of the population. And, that like that we just have to, the only way out's through. Right. And then, when I got as a young adult and I started looking at the world, I'm like, Gene Roddenberry, what a pessimist. We're just going to tap it in like Happy Gilmore, the ball. We're going to find that. We're going to get that Star Trek future. There's not going to be no Khan Noonien Singh. There's not going to be any World War III, no eugenics wars, none of that shit. Not 20 years later, not as sanguine about the prospects of avoiding all that as I was, but that's the crutch,
Yeah. No, I think you can't have a soft touch with the people who would see the world in that negative light, right? You have to keep those people as far away from power as possible, and get the people who are really working for the best interests of humanity in power. That's what you do. And I'm not talking necessarily about like government or politics. I'm talking about power.
Yeah.
Influence, the ability to shape the world in the way they see fit. Those people need to just be barred from it entirely.
Yeah. But they seem to be the ones that want to step forward and do it most often. And everybody else is like, we're too busy trying to flourish as people. Can you kind of take this off our hands? And
yeah, You need good people to step up as leaders and make the good stuff real.
So I think you're saying the human flourishing side needs a few motherfuckers that can be like, yeah, I want humans to flourish, but like I also need the humans that don't want to flourish to be eliminated. Like
I'm saying when things get bad and we all realize it, we need to press our advantage.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean being motherfuckers. That simply means we have the upper hand right now. Let's make sure we never lose it.
Yeah. And use it to make us I don't know. Like I said, it's still, I can't quite see that shining path ahead of us, but
yeah, it's tough. I mean, you can identify psychopaths. Just keep psychopaths away from power. That should do a lot. Of it. It's only like 2% of the world that's psychopaths. Basic
psychopath identification. We need as part of congressional and presidential run should be a psychological battery administered to a candidate from a panel of psychologists and. Is it like The Voice where like there's 3 psychologists and it's like I
don't want to gamify. No, we're not doing this for entertainment.
As they you said you'd steal candy from a baby, the chair turns and it's like you're
right, and then you're dumped into a pool of sharks. Sounds great.
Maybe the only way we can get better governments is if we gamify it. Did you hear anything about that, Jim?
That's potentially true. Yeah.
I hear the Fallout is really just a top secret government simulator to find the people who are qualified to lead a righteous new world in the it's like, all the times you killed those defenseless ghouls, you got disqualified from being Wasteland president. How you feel about that? Every time you spared the homeless kook that was you just went up a couple levels. All right, are we even talking about Fallout anymore?
Sure.
So this was the other thing is like I remember being kind of stunned at the reveal that Dane sabotaged themselves. It made a lot of sense, especially when you're just like, oh, well, everything we know about Maximus probably goes double for someone like Dane. And you just kind of like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Everyone's afraid. Going out in the wasteland, which is another reason I think the scene was so great is you contrast Maximus going out with Titus, how nervous he is and how eager to please he is and how intimidated by the knights. And now he's got 2 knights give him a stink eye on this transport back. And he just doesn't give a fuck. He is not affected at all because he's got his eyes on the Lucy prize.
Yeah, I will say the Dane confession was so surprising in this moment that I wasn't even sure that they weren't lying about it.
Right, to cover,
just to save Max.
Yeah. Like anything.
But there's a scene later where they explain more fully and apologize directly to him. So like we know it's true. Agreed.
Meanwhile, we're going to catch up with Lucy. She is approaching the Griffin Observatory, which is now a compound for the remnants of the battered New California Republic. They got crops, Jim. They got farmers markets. They got kids running around playing with toys. They got civilized ghouls. Lucy doesn't even know what to think about this. Meanwhile, we find out the ghoul is hot on her trail, reminiscing about the day he found out his wife was one of the worst people in the whole fucking world.
Those fools. Those fools up at the observatory. Don't they know? Corn? What are we doing? That's not the way. Don't they know about
this
barley?
Climate? In this climate, you got to get barley going in that right? Post-apocalyptic survival compound. Yeah. I've said this many times. When you look at post-apocalyptic cultures, if I was a person wandering in the wasteland with my rucksack and my rusty long gun and my 2.5 cans of dog food, I'm trying to stretch out, and I go and I see an encampment. I'm wondering, are these cannibal people or are these going to be decent folks? If they don't have children, there's no children running around. I'm walking another 5 miles before I break that camp, because that's a red fucking flag. So like all these, the agriculture, the fact that they're enlightened towards, non-feral ghouls is telling me that these are the good guys. All that fake bullshit and it's real versus how artificial everything felt in the the vault. Like, this is just people coming together and living, where the vault is an artificially constructed environment. I loved it.
Yeah, this is seemingly, you know, as we get the story here, this is Moldaver and Rosie, as best I can tell, creating Rose. Is her name Rose or Rosie?
It's Rose.
Lucy's
well,
mom.
that's what Moldaver calls her.
Gotcha. It's them building the society that they want to see, you know, and building it on the back, I guess, of the promise of the cold fusion or the actual cold fusion. I can't tell if the bombing was like a big setback and they had already reestablished the cold fusion project, or if this is new. But yeah, they're doing it. They're doing the thing that Hank claims can't be done.
Right. And they've done it before. Like, this is after they've already been destroyed at Shady Sands. So
yes, that's kind of what I was meaning with like the flashbacks.
Yeah. Gotcha. And I guess that's the other thing is, you know, when we're talking about like how the hell would like a Barb and a Janie survive? Moldaver's the one exception because, you know, they've got a system that would explain how someone like Barb and Janie could survive. Cooper survives because he's a ghoul and he can't be killed now. Moldaver has not aged in 200 years of grueling wasteland warfare and politicking. What is her deal? Is she like a perfect?
I assume cryopod.
Is there such a thing in the Fallout series as like a Blade version of the ghoul, the Daywalker? Like it's like a ghoul in terms of infinite regeneration, but you don't have any of the physical. Like, it's a perfect regeneration. It's not like regenerating a scar tissue or whatever.
Yeah,
and also, does Thaddeus? Has Thaddeus got the super ghoul serum? Because his healing always looks perfect. It never leaves like a big patch of twisted ghoul skin or anything. But maybe that's just the radiation adding up.
Yeah, I was thinking through this as I'm looking at the different stages of ghoul, right? Because then you got Lucy's mom, who is just gone. Just
that's
like
that's got to be the last level. That's the last stop in Ghoul Town, right?
Yeah, that's past Martha or whoever it was in or Maggie or whatever in the store. That's way past that. So I'm wondering if there's like levels of degradation you can get to without the medicine that then you can't come back from, right? Like it's the lack of medicine that does it. So it's eating away at your body, and if you don't have this inhalant that, you know, the ghoul, the Cooper's using, you just deteriorate. And once you deteriorate from that, you can't come back to any fresher state.
I agree. Like, once you've gone feral, I don't think any medicine in the world can bring you back. But does that tell us something about Moldaver and Rose? Because Moldaver appears to love Rose. I'm not going to suggest it's romantic, although it could be. But like, maybe. Loves her and sees her as an equal and a peer on this project. You know, the way she's like, "We did it, Rose," and grabs the corpse hand. How did Rose get into this state? Because can a dead body be made into a ghoul? If not, then it implies that she survived the blast and became ghoulified. And at some point, Moldaver, with all the resources at her disposal, couldn't keep Rose in ghoul gas to keep her from feralizing. There's a lot of mystery swirling around that. And I hope it also implies that there is a post Shady Sands history with Rose. Like, you know, what was that? Are we going to find some more of that in season 2?
Yeah, I assume so. I assume we'll find that out. We'll find out what caused Cooper's ghoulification and how that whole thing went. I don't know if this is season 2 material or if this is 3, 4, however many they're doing.
Yeah. We're setting off this like series of, you know, interleave scenes with Cooper spying on his wife. I like the details of this where he's like really, you know, from last night or the last episode where we saw him like, oh, I can't suspect Barb, to like, well, I guess I suspect Barb. He's sabotaged her car. I don't know if you got that detail that. Oh, thanks for driving me here since I had to since I bungled your oil change. I don't think Cooper's going to fuck up his wife's oil change.
No, and we see it's a proximity thing, right? So the signal starts to degrade. He knows he can't be far away to hear this stuff. So yeah, I think it was a intentional sabotage.
The other thing is Barb is aware that something's wrong with her Pit Boy. And I bet that's going to be a early season 2 reveal, is that this is the breaking point of Barb. Because, you know, when we first meet Cooper, it appears that he's estranged from Barb because him and Lainey are working birthday parties, right? And he's been blackballed from Hollywood. I can't wait to find out, but I feel like this is going to be the genesis, that she finds that, you know, you've bugged my Pit Boy and you're working with the Moldaver lady, and...
Oh no, that's so
how what could she
compared to what you're doing, right? Like,
yeah.
I as much as I love that scene where they're just at the dinner table and they're discussing, you know, how sort of seemingly unethical and immoral the lines she's crossing are, and how Cooper's more and more uncomfortable with it. Now all the cards are on the table. I cannot wait for the... I'll be generous and call it conversation that ensues when they do have that confrontation, because it's going to be great. It has to be. Because
that's the thing. I know too much as a viewer to be swayed. Like, I'm trying to think of what bullshit she could possibly say to Cooper to explain all this. And it's like, even if there were, it's like, you know, like when Hank was running down Moldaver, oh, she's the exact type of person I am. But that goes to, like, you know, maybe we need some motherfuckers. Like, yeah, maybe she's ruthless, but she's ruthless to establish a society of equality and human flourishing.
Yep.
You're ruthless
you want to kill everyone in the world. To stamp out all the competition, so you're the only source of truth, wisdom, justice, all that, you know, salvation. So you can rule.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, even if you're the same people in terms of your means to the ends, your ends are way different. I can definitely. So it's like, and I've seen Moldaver, like, she is not like trying to sabotage. Every time she gets her way, she tries to restart human civilization in a form that I recognize as even progress from where it was when the bombs dropped. So like, there's nothing she can say. So maybe she could say something to bamboozle Cooper still, but not me in the audience.
She's played the Janie card already, which is the only thing she could even pull out that would have any chance of swaying him at this point. She's played that card. I don't think that stands
in the
up.
meeting. Yeah, like yeah, like having a baby can't make this all right. Like I love Lainey too. I don't want her living in a world like this.
Right.
Also want to mention, I've mentioned this time to time, but like, again, Cooper's nose work, there's this, they don't show him in profile very often, but when they showed him in like complete profile and his lack of nose was, you know, put front and center and he's walking behind the back, it is just seamless. They did a really good job of making that guy look like he's got no fucking nose in broad daylight. Amazing.
Yeah, I love that you're so impressed by the nose. Like, of all the effects in the show, it's the nose.
I have seen in the last few weeks, in big budget, top tier AAA productions, some shady ass digital compositing. Okay. So when I see this nose, which maybe it's simple, maybe they're just painting it blue or whatever, but it's seamless and it's great and it survives scrutiny and I'm impressed. Thanks for sweating the nose detail. All right. Lucy arrives in the inner sanctum of the observatory, where she finds Moldaver seated at a dining table having breakfast with a decrepit feral ghoul. Her father is in a man-sized canary cage off to the side. She gives Moldaver the relic, and Moldaver begins to unravel the truth about her father. Simultaneously, Norm finds the true ruler of Vault 31 and is nearly executed as a result. And Cooper flashes back to hearing his wife betray the human race in the name of capitalism using his Pip-Boy bug.
Okay, I love the little detail here that when Lucy comes in, she's angry at Moldaver, right? Because like she kidnapped her father and she doesn't know the full details yet. She's going to be less angry by the end of this sequence, but first thing she does is says, you know, I was going to come here and I was going to be a real asshole and I was probably going to kill you, but I'm just going to keep things civil. And then she drops a rotten head into her dinner.
Into her hash and her hash browns, man. It is, you know, like, because like I got a little bit of this as like Lucy it's anger at not only that she took her dad and caused all this chaos anyway, but also that this process has almost made me into you.
Yes, totally.
You know, where I just want to come in and destroy you. And but I was raised better by this fucking man.
Yep.
His heart would be broken if I did something so ruthless and senseless.
That's what I mean, man. I love the way this all comes together. Every layer. There are 10 layers in all these scenes, and they just keep peeling them back.
Yeah. And it makes sense that Lucy is the most blue screen of them all because she, you know, like Norm is getting some really heavy stuff, but he doesn't have an immediate threat. Lucy's in the middle of a literal war zone where she's finding all this information out. And I mean, that's I feel like that's a little overplayed in drama, is when the person's getting these stunning revelations and they can't say anything. And we're gonna make it ambiguous about they're going to draw the gun. Oh my God, is she going to kill the ghoul? No, it's like a bunch of schmuck bait, kind of. But I think the only problem is that because of the way they interleaved it, there's just so many scenes of Lucy, of Ella Purnell standing there with like slack-jawed, eyes tearing, lip quivering, indecision for like 15 minutes of the episode. But yeah, I get it. She's overcome, you know?
Sure. And the thing that should have clued her in as to like her father's culpability and all this, before the story even happens, he's grabbing the cage and shaking it and saying, "Don't listen to her. She hasn't said a word yet." Why
really desperate.
Get a little defensive, man?
Yeah. When he starts bang, you know, gets the steel chair out and starts banging the cage. Lucy! I want to get back to Vault 31. I love this brain, like, because like last, like, it's kind of dumb to just open the vault because, like, you know, anyway. I get the idea that this guy triggered the ult because he God knows how long he's been stuck in that bucket mess. And he's just waiting for someone to come back, or he had an excuse to get, because like, yeah, he can't verify because he's like, "Oh, thank you, Betty." Well, you're not Betty. And just how feeble this thing is, this linchpin of their security. Norm is not a physically capable fellow. They've done this whole season telling me that. And even he is up to dodging this thing's Protocol 53.
It's not even. It's nothing. It's like that was never going to happen. I love it. And for people who, you know, questioned early on, like, why did I say we know that Bud's not running things? Because this is Bud. This is Bud's brain. Yes. It's called Brain on a Roomba. It's actually in the credits. It's Michael Esper doing both him and Bud. I thought that was a brilliant thing. It's like he's the mastermind of all this, right? So let's take his masterful mind and stick it on a stupid, useless robot.
Yeah, I wonder why he is like. Is this like? Because I've dealt with some junior executives, and they're not all the smartest bunch, and sometimes their need to own a project or have control of something really fucks them. And I wonder if that's like, I can't go in this. I'm a linchpin figure. I got to be awake the whole time, and I can't go in a. So like, well, the best we can do is put you in a floating jar, your brain in a floating jar. And he's like, fine, that's all I need, you know. Because like, God, if he fell asleep, you know, Hank might take over or something. It's just so funny. And how ineffectual he is, like he's just like commanding, and he expects it to be the obey. It's like, don't go in that door, don't turn on the lights, don't look at that plaque. It's like, why aren't none of my basic conflict resolution it's clearly his junior executive training program was shit, and only relied on deeply coerced people to do his bidding. But it's just a little storytelling they're saying about that. Yeah,
Norm doesn't rely on you for a paycheck. Sorry, buddy. And I will say the security of this vault is pretty poor, given the secrets it's hiding. To have a Roomba with a hypodermic needle as your only real source of security seems pathetic. It's really security through obscurity entirely. They just don't want Vault 32 and 33 to ever find out.
Do you think that Bud has like degraded though over time? Because that's the thing. It's like, so if you wanted to kill Norm, the way to do it wouldn't be like, you are not supposed to know this forbidden knowledge. Here is giant hypodermic needle. Stand by for
Right.
Protocol 53. It'd be to just start explaining to him what's really going on, get him enthralled in the story, and as he's looking at his dad's cryo chamber, pop him in the ass. Human engineering. It would work every time. He's just stupid, or has he always been this fucking stupid?
That's the big question, because like there's the scene earlier where Cooper's outside in his car and Bud's coming up and explaining Bud's plan.
Essentially, yeah. Right.
Yeah. And he's already like, the thing, it takes Cooper a while to piece it together, because this is an insane idea that they would just kill all of humanity and start over again in these vaults. It's a stupid, insane idea. It takes literally explaining it to piece it together, but then all the quotes from Bud start ringing in his ears. Like, oh, he told me this entire plan. He said everything. And here it is doing it again with Norm. I don't think he's degraded at all. I think this is just Bud.
I like, here's where, we had a mea culpa a couple weeks ago for not remembering that we know what Betty's up to and who Betty is, because we meet Betty right here where, Cooper is... Apparently he's gone in and said, hey, I'm just here to talk to my wife. Oh, your wife, she's in a bit important meeting. Do you want to wait in this little conference room? Oh, yeah, I'll do that. But while he's there, hey, there's a new executive that really wants to meet you. And he's like, that's all fine.
Does that say anything about the timing of the war here? The dropping of the bombs? Because Betty is seemingly in like a secretary role in this. She's just an assistant to whoever he's there to see, which I guess might be Bud.
I don't know.
Is it going to take some time for her to grow into a position where she would be given access to the good vault?
Well, I'll say this. Janie doesn't seem to age between the scene we see her at the birthday party and when we first meet her. So, like, I imagine, like, I don't think it's going to go that Barb comes home, is like, you've been spying on me, we're getting divorced. Time for an ad break. You've got two choices to avoid them. Vault Tech's Plan D, or go to support.baldmove.com to get an ad-free episode. And we're back with more Fall Out Boys on Bald Move. And then next day, Cooper starts booking child parties. And also, like, I don't think it's going to be like the next day the bomb drops, nor do I think it's going to be more than like a year until the bomb drops. But, I could be wrong.
Well, maybe Bud rewards loyalty, His assistant is going to be given access to the good vault.
Let me ask you, because let me ask you this, and I'm going to deal with some stuff that I haven't introduced yet because of the nature of this, but it seems appropriate. The whole conceit of this is that Barb and Bud have called a meeting of the rest of the country's big executives. You see representatives from Robco, who makes Mr. Handy, the snip. You got West Tech. You got Big MT, which is that just Big Montana? I feel like it just should be just Big Montana, or maybe it's Big Megaton. With the
Big Megaton, Big Mountain.
Big Mountain. Ooh. That could be. It's a subsidiary of Iron Mountain. And then you got Repcon. And my question is, like, they explain, it's like, well, we got this vault system, but we want to use competition to get to the best. So we invited all you big, but like, how is that? That seems like it's inimical to Vault Tech's strategy of outlasting their competition. Why are they inviting their competition into this? Is it just to sabotage? Is it get them to... Well, they
describe all these people as like-minded companies. Maybe he's delusional enough to think that they are part of his faction, that this is not 100 different factions or whatever. It's one.
So is this is this all the junior executives of the various big companies that think that America is done? And because that's the other chilling thing is when Bud explains, well, America, outsourced all of the nation's functions to the corporations, and then corporations then looked at the United States as like, well, why would we waste money saving you? when we can just take over. So like,
Sure.
what are the non-like-minded people with Bud? Where are the CEOs are like, we can't start dropping the bombs now? And
Yeah, no. These people look too old to be junior assistants. I will say
Exactly.
that. Some of them,
Yes.
most of them.
especially
So-
Big Montana here.
Yeah.
If he's junior management, then I'm going to, maybe they won't promote him because, like, I keep talking to Big Montana over there, and he keeps on talking about dropping the bombs on our own nation. It's crazy. We got to keep him in the junior. He cannot have power. But there's
I love Big Montana. I gotta say,
I do
Arby's
too.
never made a better sandwich.
But what if they put bacon on it? I think that I think it's a conundrum because, like, either there is some kind of secret cabal amongst all these corporations that are essentially one corporation, or they are deliberately inviting these people in to give them a false sense of security, like keep your enemies close, and then since they have ultimate control of the vaults, they're going to sabotage all their experiments or make them go awry.
Maybe. I am wondering if, So look, I don't know much about the Fallout games, but I do know that they deal with many of the other vaults, and those vaults are not like internally sabotaged by Vault Tech. So that would seem to break canon if it was like, well, Vault Tech controls all of these vaults, and so they're only going to let this triad of 31, 2, and 3 succeed and sabotage everything else. I don't think that's the case. So what I have to say here is that Bud is just a fucking idiot. Bud thinks that these people are like-minded and will be part of the same faction somehow, even though they are their direct competition currently. He just doesn't realize that he set his plan up to fail. That's my only conclusion I can draw from this, is
because that's
he's just stupid.
Kind of narratively satisfying, right? That these people who think that they are the ultimate movers and shakers and arbiters of what's good and bad are actually just deeply stupid people, or they're just hyper specialized to do one thing, increase a profit, and they don't know how to do anything else. And because that's what I've seen a lot in my adult life is you get a subject matter expert, you get a person who's like a really brilliant geneticist, and then they start getting involved in the world affairs, and they're like, well, I can completely understand economics and politics and social sciences and history because I'm a brilliant geneticist. That, I mean, yeah, you're a smart dude, but like, I'm sure you would not be interested in hearing the other thoughts of some amateur who's very smart, like a NASCAR race car engineer. You wouldn't want to hear his thoughts on genetics, even though he's I've studied this for the last 3 months, right? Because it took you years to build up your training and credentials and your one discipline. It might just be that like, we're the god of business, so obviously we're the best at everything, and then hilarity ensues. But
you can't even see your own blind spots.
It is a good arch villain speech. What is the apex predator? What is the ultimate weapon of mass destruction? And Cooper figures it out. I like that detail too, that he's like, time.
Yep.
And they're just waiting for time to grind everybody down. Anything else we want to tease out before we move on to the further into the sequence?
No, I guess maybe you were about to describe all that stuff where Cooper is hoping that she'll
One other thing,
do something.
I just noticed this, that they mentioned Protocol 53, and I used to be a network engineer in my previous life, and so I knew that was an actual TCP/IP protocol and UDP protocol. But what I didn't know is apparently it's the primary protocol for Amazon Web Services to coordinate its various distributed computing services.
Okay.
And this is an Amazon Studios Productions. What are the odds that this is a deliberate joke at Amazon's expense?
I could see it. Yeah.
I think it's a little, it doesn't mean anything, but it is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
So Norm discovers the secret of Vault 31. It's full of cryopods containing buds, an elite cadre of junior executives being bred to make the ultimate manager to inherit the Earth. Cooper continues to listen horrified as his wife describes how the various corporations can use the vault system to engineer their perfect human society with absolutely no oversight or accountability. The execs are intrigued, but wonder how could she deliver results, guarantee results. She says, well, we'll be the ones to drop the bomb. And Cooper is so stunned by this that he can barely process a young Henry Hank McLean coming into the waiting room asking him for his autograph. Why young Henry?
Stuff is all so perfectly timed.
Editing.
And I love...
because you got all this shit. That's the thing, like filmmaking, man. Like you all these fucking dozens and hundreds of shots, and how do you put them together? And with the music beats and the close-ups on actors' faces, it really does come together nicely.
I do wonder how much of this was found in the script and how much is found in the edit. That'd be an interesting conversation to have with Joy and Nolan.
It seems like it's always like just everything just it's like a bucket that gets dumped. You know, it's like you take all the stuff that you did in pre-production and writing, and that gets dumped into the bucket of production and production. And you know, the writers on the set and they're discovering things, and then that gets dumped into the post-production, and then that gets done. So it's like everything. It's a waterfall of either success or failure, depending on whether the project is going well or not. But
sure.
Yeah,
sure.
But
and
no,
you just
it
hope
would
the executives
be,
don't get involved.
I'd be curious to see if they got any like special features. Latin. I know a lot of it is just public. You can go onto the Fallout site on Amazon Video, and there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. But I pine for the days of like the Lord of the Rings releases, where it's like you had 17 hours of how we did this shit from music to Foley to. Yes.
Yeah, embedded videographers filming it all as it's happening in real time. Yeah.
Yes. But not every day you get $200 million to make a trilogy, and a beloved trilogy in New Zealand.
I will say the thing I like about this is Cooper's Lucy moment, where he is having a revelation about a person he loves that he didn't know at all, it turns out. You have to really like... And especially with the way they're sending them off this season as a pair, sort of aligned for the same purpose. They've also got very similar origins, oddly enough.
That's the thing. It's like, yeah, like Lucy and him are connected, you know, because Cooper is from that era. Her dad is from that era. I also thought it was an interesting detail that like the management reactivation seems like a one-way street. When I was looking at Hank, looking at the vault, it's like, you know, Hank had a sleep date of, you know, 2077, which is the year that the bombs fall. And his reactivation date is, I don't know, like 20 years ago in real time. So it's like, because I was speculating, I wonder if people like they take turns rotating. Like, okay, you're going to... But it seems like you just get reactivated. You do your time as the Vault Overseer, and then when you die, someone else gets refreshed. There is no like retirement for these people.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Just because there's no like there's like 8 open pods, and there's like 18 reserve pods, and there's no, you know, no one like re-entry dates. So that's kind of surprising that, you know, so you get awoken. Are you excited to be awoken as a junior exec? It's like, oh boy, here's my shot to breed the perfect manager. Or is it kind of like, oh damn, I'm like the 8th person out of 20 I'm nowhere near the end. Like, what is the feeling of that?
The rad readings from the surface and being like, yeah, there's no shot. I'm dying down here.
Except for they're not. That's the thing, is like they're not using the rad readings of the surface. That's all bullshit. Like the surface is fine to go back and repopulate, and it's been repopulated several times. Sure. They're just keeping... It's like, maybe the Vault-Tec thing is like, we're going to go underground and we're going to guarantee results, because if they do restart civilization before we're ready, we're going to keep destroying it until we eliminate everyone. Like, everyone's going to get a chance to stand up. We're going to knock them down, and when no one stands up, then we will inherit the Earth. Maybe?
Some game of chicken of who's going to come out of their vault first, that kind of thing.
Yeah, is it seniority? Is it
Big Montana come? No. I mean, are the other factions, like, are they playing chicken with them? Like, oh, you guys are going to come out now? Well, we're going to blow your shit up, and then we'll be, one closer to take it over.
Well, it's like in the game of Risk, someone's got to start rolling dice first. You can't you can't just turtle up in Australia. You can't just turtle up in Australia and South America all game. Not if you're going to win.
That's why Castle Risk is the superior game.
True.
With admirals.
You just stack up on your island so you get the admiral card.
Yep. On your capital specifically. Your castle. So, here's the other thing though about the Ghoul, Cooper, and Lucy is Cooper has always been a loner as far as we've seen him after this thing that happened with Barb. He has never taken anyone under his wing. He's never not killed anyone that he's come across, frankly. So to see him and Lucy at the end of this episode going off together on a mission is a huge thing. And I think over the course of this season, with the dog meat, Lucy has proved to him that she is the kind of person he thought Barb was. Ooh. And that is like the thing that has really attached them, or at least attached Cooper to her, is this is a person that I thought I was with before. Yeah. Turned out to be an awful person, but she has proven to me that she is the exact opposite of who Barb turned out to be.
And there's also some symmetry there that like Barb is of the system and made the system worse, where like Lucy was raised under the laboratory conditions of that system. Like obviously they're being indoctrinated, but yet she has somehow retained the actual principles that they installed in their puppet thing. And that's the other question I have is like, why is Vault 33 and 32 being raised wrong? And there's the other thing of like, okay, if it's a eugenics program, you've got one side that's constantly being weeded to be the ultimate sunny-sided, never say die, lemons from lemonade manager, and is the other side the ultimate like servant consumer? Or are they just rotated to Vault 32 to be culled so that there's more room to breed strong managers? That's the slight, I haven't quite figured that out yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll probably learn a lot more in season 2.
It's horrifying hearing these guys brainstorm what they're going to do. Like, let's separate the children from the parents and only let the smartest ones be educated and grow up let's release psychotropic gas in it. Let's try to breed the ultimate super soul. It's like,
and those are the good ideas. The milk robots, that's the most benign,
I think.
I don't know what that is.
Right. Yeah. That's
not an idea.
Let's see if Alexa can run a vault. Why not?
Sure.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just because like no one. It's not like they start with like some kind of reasonable idea. It's like they start from hyper fascism, Holocaust stuff, and get worse from there. They start out at Joseph Mengele and then go down from there. It's insane. Yep. I know that the war never changes is a big line for the Fallout franchise. I almost felt like this episode was used too much. Like war never changes is something that, but also I guess it is a universal truism, like war is not about it's from cavemen to now. Like, would I say that staying in the field in the 12th century and being butchered by scythes and pointed sticks and swords is worse than enduring weeks of shelling at the Somme and getting mustard gassed is worse than, fighting in the trenches in the Pacific is worse than being in Ukraine right now, being hunted down by fucking drones. Like, the nature of war is always to kill as many of the other people as you can. That's the point of it. And it's never not going to be that. Technology changes, but the nature of I'm trying to kill and hurt you more than you kill and hurt me doesn't change. So the great line just got dropped a lot in this episode. Meanwhile, Maximus prepares for battle. Dane apologizes for his part in Maximus's predicament. Maximus chooses to forgive Dane and tells him that he met someone he's going to live with in a vault when it's all over. Dane retorts that there is nowhere safe to go and there's no way of leaving the Brotherhood. Yeah.
That's that's the big thing, right? This is kind of like the retort to war never changes, honestly, is that there's nowhere safe. There's no leaving either. Like, you think you're just going to sit in vaults and you're going to bring about some perfect society through what? Force of will that is then not going to have war? Or that you could potentially run from the thing that is war? No, the only way around the horrors of war is to come together and not start wars. And that's the irony of, the project that we talked about, where he's created 100 different factions that are all going to go to war. Yeah. Like, it's obvious.
But that's the thing, is like that's why I think it's all a bunch of bullshit and the Vault Tech is playing dirty, because then Hank argues that the only way war never changes. So the only way to prevent war is to eliminate the factions that cause war. But like, sure, humans are going to factionalize, man. We're just, as long as we're different and we want different things, you're always going to have people who are going to grow up more bloody minded, some more cooperative. We probably need all those people in a healthy society. But like, if you eliminate the factions, okay, wait 3 more generations, you got factions again.
That's true. And you can do things with the shaping your society that make that more or less likely, or more or less severe, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. The line, like, there's no leaving. You can't run from the hard work of creating a society. You just can't. Like, where are you going to go? Underground? Well, guess what? You got to come up sometime, and there's going to be 100 other factions waiting for you. Then you've just delayed all of the work you could have been doing to come together to create a less harsh, less warlike society.
Yeah. But again, if your strategy is to stay underground for hundreds and hundreds of years and push the nuke button anytime someone gets to where they're making you nervous that they might be able to make it. But again, that's the thing, is like, even if you get all one person or all one credos way of thinking, way to organize government and economy, like, again, just give it a generation or two, and guess what? You'll have multiple factions. But again, these guys aren't geniuses and scientists and whatnot. And even then, you let them run a vault, it's no better.
They're not philosophers either. They're just middle managers.
Yeah, they're pretty. If Bud is the best of them, it's the bar's in hell. So, yeah, but I do wonder how, or if this is going to affect Maximus's idea here, because he very firmly wants to go with Lucy, live underground. It's probably something he's going to have to realize for himself, like, to fully internalize this idea that there is no running from what's coming. You have to just face it. I like how Maximus sees this, because, it's probably some kind of, even the religious lens he's looking through it, but that all this happened because it has to happen. It was all meant, he was meant to leave. He was meant to betray Titus. He was meant to find Lucy. He's sure. But if your destiny is to get back to her and you've got the Brotherhood standing in front of you, then again, as I've said a couple times already on this podcast, the only way out's through.
It's kind of funny, because nobody's like, well, I was meant to be destitute in the gutter and die early, and like, I'm happy because it was what was meant for me.
I think those people exist. You just don't make movies about them. I definitely think there are the woe is me, I'm getting shit on, I'm just going to sit in the gutter, and this is where I belong because of something I did as a kid or young adult. I deserve this. But yeah, they don't usually get made movies and TVs about. Except for BoJack Horseman, they actually made one about. Anyway, there's a great. I love that. Again, I'm going to talk about how great looking this episode is. I love the shot of the Brotherhood taken to the skies. It's a very Ride of the Valkyries. It's Apocalypse Now. The waves of heat coming off of the machines and the sun rising in the background. It's great. Lots of good sun rising and sunsets in this episode. All right, Moldaver's prepared to drop the biggest bomb, Hank's most terrible secret, on Lucy. Lucy's mother left Hank to join the new Shady Sands society, and in his anger, Hank retrieved his children, then burned Shady Sands to the ground. She explains how Vault Tech bought and then shelved her cold fusion technology, and that only authorized Vault Tech executives can unlock those restrictions. Unauthorized Vault Tech, such as Hank here. Lucy also realizes that the feral ghoul at the table is all that's left of her poor, sweet mother, Rose. Lucy, her world collapsing, persuades her father to release the codes, allowing Moldover to boot up the cold fusion system.
Okay. I have questions around this, because she doesn't just say like she joined up with Shady Sands. Moldaver says Rose founded Shady Sands, which we know, according to, Vault 4 or whatever it was, the one that her and Max get trapped in, that happened over 100 years ago. So she has been a ghoul for a little while.
I think she found it in the sense of she stumbled upon it, not I founded it in the sense that I put the flag and made it. Like, my understanding is like it was going and Rose found. I mean, honestly, I'm thinking about it from, because you're right.
It makes more
plain
sense
English
if it's that way.
Yeah, but there's already a bunch of weird timey-wimey stuff. The only thing I don't understand is, like, unless we don't think that Rose is her mother, or that Lucy was put in a cryo sleep for a while, I don't see how there's any way that Rose can be the person that literally founded and founded the town.
Is, coming out to be overseer. I don't think at night he's going into his cryopod and lasting, 100 years. So I think you're right. I think maybe she found the city, not founded the city. It's a pretty easy mistake.
Pretty interesting, the fact that she found it just by like deduction, like, hey, our water labels or water tables are dropping. How can that be? Oh, someone must be pumping out from the surface, ergo civilization. And there's, like I said, this is a very hastily told tale of a woman who goes to her loving husband she has 2 children with and says, hey, I got this crazy theory that people are out pumping water outside, and him like, oh, that's crazy. And also don't be talking to people. And then she just immediately like, oh, he's up to no good. I'm out of here. There's got to be more to this story, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is a 5-line timeline of a woman's entire life. So yeah, of course.
But I'm just saying, like, I'd almost accuse Rose of being an idiot in the opposite direction if she's like, wait, my husband was shady about not believing that something impossible is happening on the surface. He's hiding stuff. Yeah. But again, I'm on Rose's side, and Hank is a complete bastard. I just want to know more about that story.
And we did speculate, I think, at some point that these flashbacks were not just her time in the vault as a child with some filters on it. This was actually Shady Sands. Yep.
Like, and I love how they made those, like, she's like a small child and like she's recontextualizing these memories. And I'm like, oh my God, this was a real place. These cornfields weren't in the dome. The sun was real. There was trolleys, she starts, and I think that those like recovered memories are another thing that really weigh against Hank. Because everything that Moldaver is saying rings true to her, Lucy. And everything that Hank is saying sounds like bullshit excuses or distractions, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
My question is, why does Hank give her the code? Because he there's no ways out of getting out of this cage without doing it. And he's selfish and a coward, or... Because he could have just been like, no, fuck you. I'm not going to give you the cold fusion. That's the only thing that could plausibly stop Vault-Tec. It's a big gamble. And also he's a big weenie, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. I do think he's a fool to give up that code. It's his only real leverage keeping him alive. And I think Moldaver would just as soon see him dead. And yeah, like you said, he's not getting out of this cage. He's lost Lucy. He realizes he's lost Lucy. And that's why he gives up the code, because, well, he thinks his life is over. And this is where I like, if I didn't think that Vault-Tec were pure evil and that Hank as a part of that is also pure evil, I would start to feel a little bit of sympathy for him, because he's made choices that I think are incredibly delusional and stupid and evil. but he thought they were the right choices for, you know, his child. And that is almost in some light defensible, but I know too much. I've seen too much of the consequences of his choices to say that that could ever balance out.
Yeah.
So I would almost start to feel bad for him, but the fact that Lucy doesn't either, Lucy just totally rejects this, I think helps a lot.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think it's, and sometimes it can, you know, lead you astray, you know, if someone's like, I don't know. I can't, it's like, what is it? It's like, you're estranged from your mother and you've been raised by your father, and then you finally get to meet your mom, and she says, oh, actually, you know, black is white, red is blue, up is down, 1 = 3. Sometimes there should be a back and forth here, but like I said, when it's resonating so strong with her, what she's being told, and also the fact that her dad is like not putting up a very good defense of it, like he's essentially sputtering and banging the cage rather than actually
and then
saying,
rationalizing,
right,
admitting that it's true,
yeah,
and rationalizing it.
But you don't understand, like, okay, maybe I'm bad, but she's just as worse. She's just as bad.
How could that possibly be true? Like, I can't see it, man. I really can't. Especially the way she's talking. She's talking about, you know, reestablishing a civilization the same way you are, but doing it in a peaceful way that's inclusive, not doing it in the way that you taught all of us to be. Yeah. You taught me to be. And you're a hypocrite. Why would I listen to anything you have to say?
And the other thing is, like, there's that recovered memory of her mother's necklace that she's always kind of remembered. And then the fact that that's hanging around the ghoul's neck.
That seals the deal.
Smoking gun, yeah. Did you notice anything significant about the code that Hank punches in?
I can't remember what it was. It was 101 something.
Yeah, 1010 or 101097, and the first Fallout was released October 10th, 1997.
Nice. That's cool.
Pretty cool. What do you think? Okay. What do you think about the way they represent cold fusion? Because, like, I've never seen it. Like, how do you tell the story of cold fusion happening? And it's like, I guess you take a matter the size of a grain of rice and you have it boil a big tube of water, and then you power. But like,
I'm not saying we've resorted to eating human flesh, but if you support the podcast at support.baldmove.com, we'll never have to. We're back with more Tales from the Wasteland with the Fallout Boys.
I don't know that there's enough matter in a grain of rice to power LA for 2 hours, let alone infinite power. But you know, it's essentially this is like the Force, right? Yeah, there's like, I should turn off my brain, and this is warp drive essentially.
Yeah, I really don't know. And I was a little confused around where we are. Like, I know obviously we're at Griffith Observatory, MacGyver's house. But like, is this a cold fusion vault tech station? Like, is this where Shady Sands was initially run from as far as power goes? Is this something she constructed on the fly to take advantage of her old vault tech bought technology? You can reverse engineer everything except the locking grain of the grain of rice that unlocks and puts its two cores together. Like, yeah, again, it was a little confusing in that regard.
That's what's great about warp drive. If you want it to break, you just say someone took the lithium crystals out. What the fuck did the lithium crystals do? But they tuned the plasma field. What's the plasma field was generated by the antimatter matter reaction. Like, like, whatever, man, whatever. They took the distributor cap. I get it. Yeah. Norm tries to leave Bud with the rest of his buds behind, but Bud says, "You can never leave. You'll be stuck here for hundreds of years. You better sleep away the time in your father's stasis tube. God knows I would if I could." Bud's regretting his spearheading this project, apparently.
Yeah, being a brain on a Roomba.
For 200 years, a brain on a Roomba, an incompetent brain on a Roomba. My God, that's hell. That's hell.
You think he's like at least got some kind of video game console built into that?
I don't know.
Some VR, AR, or something.
But like, what do you do to take away the fact that you're just a brain in a jar? Like, would I enjoy video games as much if I knew that this was the only thing I could do? I couldn't go outside and I couldn't unplug and go down and have a a sandwich or take a hot shower, go out on a hike. Like, I'm just keep playing video games, man.
I don't know.
If you asked me when I was 15, that would have been the life's goal. Like, just jack me in, man.
Totally.
Video games weren't shit back then, let alone what they are now.
I was looking at the list of names on the screen here that Norm is identifying. We see the list of overseers that we know have come out. Stephanie Harper being confirmed as the latest. This
was the big surprise to me. I thought that she would be a result of the breeding program, but like, I guess these were really young junior executives. Yeah, it seems like it. Maybe we'll meet her in the past at some point. That'll be cool. That would be pretty cool, especially since I kind of like her. You know, like she seemed like I don't associate her with the Hank kind of Betty shit, but like she is. So like. And she is a liar because of that whole like, oh, I guess our mashed potatoes are a little different. Like, she's upholding the system, and now that I know she wasn't born into it, but she was part of the ones that were selected to. Yeah, there's a big gap in what I think about Stephanie and what Stephanie really is, apparently. And it's nice that they've positioned Chet kind of in her immediate sphere, and Norm and being sort of a little skeptical, Yeah, putting him on the trail. I can see interesting places. But they're separating them, because that's the thing is Chet's going to Vault 32. Norm is staying at 30. Oh, not Norm. Norm's staying at 31, apparently. Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Now he's locked away. Because there's a ticking time clock here. The brain, of course, I don't know, maybe he's lying, because like I don't know why Norm would take him at his word, but like there's no food down here. The vault is not like a normal vault. Like, it just leads right into this cryo chamber, apparently. And he's like, unless you want to eat the odd rad roach that sneaks into the vault, then you're gonna die. So it's and I wonder, like, because both ways they could take that story would be potentially interesting. Norm going to sleep and then the plot kicking forward 100 years or so in a season or two. I don't know how they do that, but it'd be super interesting. But also, how can he stay there? How is he going to get out? Yeah. Can he? I don't know. He is a good hacker, and this brain is completely bamboozable. So I imagine. True. He'll hack his way out of he'll hacker man his way out. He'll Mr. Robot his way out of this. Yeah, we'll see. I think we just leave him at the end, sort of staring into the expanse of cold storage, right? So we don't know exactly what he's going to do. But there is this other list of names, the dormant ones, the ones who are still frozen. And at least 18. And that's if there's not paginate. Like, if you can't paginate that, like, there's at least 18. Yeah, you might be able to scroll down. One name that I was looking for on this list is Barb. Not on this page, certainly. Right. And if this is the entire list, not on this list at all, which is surprising. Make it to the good vault? Wow. But would she describe this as the good vault for her family? I don't know. Because, like, what is about your daughter sleeping in a tube would be, I guess you survive for 400. I got a lot of questions about where is the good vault. I don't think this is the good vault. I think this is another experimental vault. But also maybe there's a lot of Cooper murders Barb, and it's one of those like celebrity, I think he killed his wife things, and that's why he's on the outs. Brad Pitt. I know they call him a commie though, so it doesn't. Yeah. Well, the other thing is, If you're being serious about him murdering Barb, like, why would he not remember where his family's at? Like, he'd be like, I want to know where my, because that's the thing. It's like, this would not be a problem if he's like, where is my fucking daughter? But he always frames it as, where is my fucking family? And say, so he wants to set things straight with Barb too.
Yep.
And he thinks they're both alive 200 years later.
But probably not in this vault. I'm just gonna say this is the whole list and that she's not in this vault.
I think, I think you're right. Hank tries to explain himself as Moldover prepares to start the cold fusion reaction, but just before she can, alarms blare. The Brotherhood is here. Oh, Lord, they coming in force. We talked about that. I don't know if it's like all of his bullshit is just that.
Yeah, he's just trying to get in there to Lucy before they murder her.
The best case scenario is he could convince Lucy he's just as ruthless as Moldaver, but again, look at the fruits of Moldaver's, labor, and look at Hank's and compare and contrast.
Yeah.
Very cool scene coming up. The Battle of the Observatory, the Battle of Hollywood Hill. Mount Hollywood? I think that's where this is actually built on. When Hank continues to try to justify his actions to Lucy, the Brotherhood slaughters its way through the NCR troops as Maximus struggles to stay with the moving front to find Lucy first. It's brutal, close fighting, and then the Ghoul shows up to give them a little history lesson about weaknesses and the Knight's armored suits.
Yeah, apparently he wore a mech suit. I didn't realize that. No,
he did, because remember he got real pissed at Bud trying to, he's like, he said, I knew a lot of good men that died in those suits in Alaska.
I guess there's an implication there that he...
But him coming out, this is the first time he said, I did. I wore the T-45s. And then he's saying, this is the T-60. Still haven't fixed that flawed welding. And he's using these like depleted uranium rounds too. I think that's part of it, because that was like, we talked about this in the second episode. There's a lot of people like, well, why didn't he do this to Maximus? I don't think he was equipped to fight Maximus, whereas now he knows he's going to get tussled with the Brotherhood. And also, like, I think he was having fun with Maximus.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah, like he was smiling and enjoying that entire fight. Like, as soon as he found out this guy's a poorly trained, like, new recruit, he's just like, I'm just fucking with him.
Mm-hmm. You'd think they'd build night vision into these things, yeah?
They probably, yeah.
Then why do they have such a hard time hitting the Ghoul in the dark? They're like, find this guy, where's he at? Like, is he flashing around the room at supersonic speeds, or do they just not have night vision?
Well, do they have like infrared vision, or do they have like light amplification? Because if it's light amplification and it's truly dark, does that work still?
Why wouldn't you've got a fusion core in your suit? Build some freaking infrared in there.
Get a radar. Get something going on there. But I mean, it's even before we get to the scene, I just love it. Like, this is another thing where I look at a scene like this and I'm thinking, maybe the public is ready for Warhammer 40K, because this is just like scenes of regular troops swarming over a huge dude in power armor. And I love that scene where someone like slips their machine gun in the neck hole and just opens up into the night, and they're vulnerable to, mortars and things like that. The Cooper slam dunks a grenade down the front of their shirt and explodes one. Because up until this point, the Knights have seen unbeatable.
Yeah. And
now they're showing that like just one guy can, with the skills, can wreck shop like this. And also that, I'm going through my notes and seeing all the different beats. Like, I love where one of the modified Ospreys like swerves to avoid incoming fire, and a squire falls out and his body hits the blades of the Osprey that's in formation and just gets mulched in 4K lovely detail. Another good head stomp, or a head crush. There's that scene where one of the knights just pile drives a NCR soldier through a picnic table, and it looks great.
Good killing with the NCR flag or the Brotherhood flag.
Yeah.
Maybe both.
I think it's I remember the Brotherhood flag flying over Philly. But
Okay.
yeah, it looks great. And it's all done in slow-mo. I thought that the practical effects of the knights throwing people around was maybe the best it's ever looked on the show. And these knights advancing with these autocannons and just, like one knight just plows through 20, 30 of these guys. It's brutal. I wouldn't want to fight them on either side. I love there's a couple things also, like I like the fact that Moldaver leads from the front, like she's in the thick of it. She's out there firing shots. She's crewing a 4-barrel cannon at one point. And kind of contrasts that with Hank, that he's kind of so cowardly. As Lucy considers her father's words, Maximus stumbles in with a headless knight. Before Lucy can explain, he frees her father before she can reveal his horrific destruction of Shady Sands. Hank then commandeers the empty knight suit and punches out Maximus, demanding Lucy leave with him. She refuses, and then the ghoul stops by to interrupt the family reunion by shooting Hank in his face. The ghoul taunts young Henry about his past and asks him where is his fucking family before Hank runs off. He explains to Lucy that his escape was deliberate. He plans on following Henry to wherever the source of the chaos caused by Voltec is. The ghoul offers Lucy a chance to come with him and discover the truth of her past, or stay here with Maximus and die. She kisses Maximus goodbye, Mercy kills her mother, and takes off with the ghoul.
Ooh-wee. Yeah. This is in the same way that Lucy got a big reveal about her father here, so does Max, that he also ruined his life. So this is a good reason for all of them to unite.
Yeah, but they're not. They're going to be separated in this very episode.
Yeah, spiritually unite.
And I
more
do
so
love,
than they already were. They were already on that train, but
I do love when Hank tries to, like, come on, Lucy, let's go after all this is done. And she draws a gun on him. He's like, see what this place does to you. Like,
I mean, that's
bitch,
a fair
you built
point,
this place. You made this place. We were having birthday parties and ice cream, but no, you wanted to make sure you cornered the market and ice cream and birthdays and everything else. Like, fuck this guy. They do, like I said, the schmuck bait about, oh, is she going to kill her father? Oh, is she going to kill the ghoul? Like, even the first time through, as soon as she pulled that gun and the ghoul kind of hesitated, like, oh no, I've miscalculated. I'm like, oh, she's going to put her mother out of her misery. And she does.
But she's got to abandon Max, which I'm sure absolutely devastates her.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like Max isn't going to know that she got up, chose to go with the ghoul and kissed him goodbye and promised that he'll find them. He's just going to wake up and see that she's gone. Like, last thing he's going to remember is being punched out by, like, he knows that. And I also, like, I don't know how serious I'm supposed to take this, but like Max was getting punched by a fucking knight. It's like getting hit by an I-beam and then you're unconscious for like an hour or two. In real life, it's unlikely he would remember anything in the minutes leading up to his head getting caved in by the knight. But if it goes by Hollywood rules, he's going to wake up and the last thing he remembers is Hank being evil, him letting him go, and he wakes up and now Hank and Lucy are gone. Probably going to draw the conclusion that Hank's got her. Because he missed out the whole ghoul situation too.
Yeah. Is he going to think Lucy ran off with her father, like made that choice to abandon him and go off?
I was thinking that more of like he thinks his father kidnapped her and now he's on like just an old school knight rescuing a princess mission, Yeah.
I mean, that seems a pretty reasonable deduction. But either way, it's
why would he
them together?
Yeah, why would he wake up thinking that, oh my God, she voluntarily left me? Because that's the brutalist. That's the thing that might turn Maximus evil, but I don't think he's going to make that conclusion.
No, I don't think he's going to be evil, but it is going to be... There's some explaining to do when they inevitably cross paths again on the tail of Hank.
Why do you think Moldaver didn't mercy kill Rose? That's like Walking Dead 101. You don't like that's some Herschel season 1 first month or two in the apocalypse kind of bullshit where you're rounding up your loved ones and you're keeping them in a barn because maybe we'll find like.
It's also some Governor season 3-4.
Yeah, like I got my best
daughter,
friend.
right?
Like, is Moldaver kind of crazy?
Maybe
saying that, like,
yeah.
'cause how could you not? How could you not be?
Mm-hmm.
She's crazy on the side of humanity, but she's still pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, especially when you go to the next scene and she's like, "Well, we did it."
Yeah, like this
With
was our
Rose.
plan, which kind of leans into your founding.
Yeah,
kinda
but it's
debate.
not possible.
I
Not
don't
possible.
think so. It's possible, but I just can't see what the story that we know has been unfolded.
Right. According to what we know, it's not possible.
Yeah. I guess
But I don't know.
the thing that would make sense is like if Lucy's mom also was a Vault Overseer, and she just had a change of heart.
Doesn't seem to be the system though. They seem to be. It's a breeding program, right, where they take people from the vault and breed them with the overseer managers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so as Maximus regains his consciousness, just as the cold fusion system finishes booting, a wounded Moldaver starts the cold fusion reaction, powering large parts of LA. She challenges him about what the Brotherhood would do with this unlimited power and tasks him with trying to stop him before she dies. Just then, Dane and the rest of the Brotherhood make it to the inner sanctum and find Maximus standing over Moldaver's dead body. Dane proclaims Maximus as knight. Finally, we see the ghoul lead Dogmeat and Lucy out of the observatory, and Hank approaches a ruined New Vegas as dawn rises over the Mojave Desert.
And we hear that famous Better Call Saul song, My Echo, My Shadow, and Me. Oh, that's all I can think of when I hear this song. It's Better Call Saul.
Who's the Echo, who's the Shadow, and who's me in this situation?
Oh, I think me is the dog. It's dog meat.
Okay.
And the shadow has to be the ghoul, right? He's a shadow of what he was once. And then Lucy's an echo for some reason.
All right. Now, fuck, marry, kill. No. Okay. No, don't say anything you can't possibly.
I want to talk about fusion. No,
Okay,
I just
all
want to
right.
talk about
Yes,
fusion.
yes.
Nothing about FMK.
Cold fusion.
So this is just like a Pyrrhic victory for her, right? Like, I did it. I accomplished my goal, and it's all going to be taken by the Brotherhood. She just wants to see it happen. She's like, I'm going to turn this thing on. It has no effect. It's not going to like change her fate or spin up a new city or anything. It's just going to turn a couple lights on for a couple minutes until the Brotherhood snatches it, right?
So why did she do? I agree. So why did she do it?
I think it's just for personal gratification. I did it. I was able to accomplish my goal. It's all going to go to shit here in a minute, but right now I can bask in the glory of what I've done. My efforts are rewarded.
And so the only thing I can think of that would make this possible that would be better to just like, okay, stand and fight here while cold fusion is booting rather than taking a thing and running is that maybe she's tired of fighting. War never changes, and she's been fighting for over 200 years and decades before that in the unfallen world.
And this is the second time she's done this. You know, I assume she created Shady Sands.
Yes, I'm going to assume that's true
I'm
as well.
assuming. Yeah. And now she's done it again, and it's all being taken from her again. Yeah, I can see why she'd be tired.
There's a new generation of Lucy and Maximus that she can kind of entrust. And because I thought that this was a desperate gambit of like, first of all, I don't care how much power you got. I don't think you're just going to hook that up to the Las Vegas power grid that's been bombed for 200 years and decrepit and is just going to light up the city. Get the fuck out of here. Cold fusion. Come on. Was it got a nanite swarm going and fixing fuses and wires and transformers and shit? Secondly, I guess if you lit up most of LA for even a couple of minutes, it would be something that people would talk about. It's a sea change. It's something that no one thought would be possible, and it was so like people are going to start asking questions, and maybe that's like she's just trying to demonstrate something's possible. Yeah, there you go, exactly.
Yeah, literal beacon of hope,
lighting the beacon of Shady Sands. See,
the greater
LA area will answer.
Yeah, because she's definitely afraid of what the Brotherhood is going to do with this. And we know that the Brotherhood is going to have it this season. A fractured Civil War fighting Brotherhood. Fair.
That's the saving grace, is that the people that are just there for power and fighting over who's going to rule the wasteland are going to inherently be less united than the people who just want what's best for humanity. That's a bigger rallying banner than like, I am the elder and I am smart and I am power.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So I don't know. To me, it's just the culmination of a goal that she's about to see washed away, but at least she can see it for one moment.
I like the Hollywood sign sponsored by Nuka-Cola, because I'm actually kind of surprised that the Hollywood sign has made it to 2025 without a big sponsorship. It's like, I read up on it because I was bored this morning and I had some time to kill. So I read the history of the Hollywood sign and how it used to be Hollywood Land, and it was actually advertising a new residential development that these developers were creating, and it never was intended to be a permanent sign, but people really liked it. And then Hollywood Land came and gone, and the sign started rotting, and it looked pretty bad. In 1978, man, go look at the Hollywood sign in 1978, because the O had collapsed into a U, the H was half gone. You know, it was in bad shape, and that I guess they completely remade it and poured concrete foundations, made letters that were lit, but like, it's just because people.
Who is they?
It's this conservatory society that, like, guess bought the land, and
the Griffith Observatory maintains.
Well, the Griffith Observatory is the mountain across from the Hollywood sign. Like, it's one of the best vantages of the Hollywood sign. It's not where the Hollywood sign is proper, but but yeah, people just like really they think it's cute, and that's why it survived for almost 100 years.
Yeah,
just because people think.
It's something the community values. Maybe we can actually keep it going.
But I'm surprised that like people haven't made it better. Like the temptation to make the letters 100, because here's the one thing: if you go to Hollywood sign and look at it, it's actually kind of unimpressive. It only looks good when someone sets up a crew like at the base of the mountain and uses some zoom lens, because it's tiny. It's very small, even at some optimum viewing spots. So it's like the temptation to replace that with like 100-foot tall LED. You know, multicolor lighting. Like, who resists that? Who's resisting it?
I'm going to take the Hollywood sign down. I'm going to create an army of drones, LED drones, and I'm going to recreate the sign with the drones. Oh, but then if you want, you can buy 30-minute slots for your sponsorship where the Hollywood sign becomes something else. It reconfigures into the Coca-Cola sign.
I see. And then it comes back together for Hollywood for a bit, and then it comes
whenever we haven't sold the Toyota.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like, because I was thinking like 30 minutes, that's crazy. Like maybe every 30 minutes for 15 seconds it turns into a logo, but
I'm selling real estate here in my drone sign. Yeah.
Hollywood. How much Hollywood a Hollywood would if a Hollywood would. Anyway, what are we? Do you have anything else you want to say about this season?
Other than I'm super excited for season 2 now, and we're mere days away at this point. No, I have nothing.
We will have a season 1 retrospective, so we can, if we have any thoughts that we've forgotten, or if you got something you want to share, you can do so at fallout@baldmove.com. And we'll be looking back at season 1, looking ahead at season 2, and the week after that, season 2 begins. Fallout@baldmove.com, regardless of when and where and what you want to talk about. And if you'd like to get in on this season and get access to our awesome Discord community and get access to ad-free feeds and tons of bonus audio content, make it every week. And boy, Christmas time's a great time to join the club because you get so much of it. Go to support.baldmove.com. We'd love to have you in the club. Once again, that's fallout@baldmove.com. Support us at support.baldmove.com. We will be back next week to check out season 1, look ahead to season 2. Hope to see you back then, Wasteland Wanderers. Until then, I'm your host, Aaron.
And I'm Jim.
See ya.
We're going down.